And my treasure hunter here. So today I am going to be checking out this BooYu. Now this is spelled B-O-O-Y-U, so I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. It is a 12 volt, 400 watt, 37 tone police warning emergency vehicle Siren PA system. Two slim speakers, handheld microphone, hands-free supposedly. Two switches where you can activate lights if you have emergency lights. And it's for basically anything 12 volt. I'm going to actually just power it with a small 12 volt battery to test it out. So we're going to go ahead and unbox. This thing is really heavy. I actually did open it up already just to see what was in the box. And I actually weighed these two speakers because they're so heavy. So, two speakers and then the control unit / amp. I'll go ahead and open one of these up. Now, if you're going to mount this to a vehicle or something, you're really going to have to find something to, it's got some good steel. These things, 4.8 pounds each. And there's two of these. So they do have really heavy duty mounting brackets, but definitely don't go cheap on your bolts, nuts and bolts to mount these. So it's got two of these, and I guess these are 200 watts a piece. And the amplifier in there, which I'll be opening up in just a second, is supposedly 400 watts. They are a nice thin form factor. So this will help probably mounting them in different locations. They are supposedly like waterproof. So you could mount it on, basically if you have a push bar or something, you could mount it there. If you could find a place behind your grill. Because optimally, you want these facing out. So you got the two speakers in the package. And then we'll actually just open up the unit itself. So here will be kind of the amplifying system, supposedly 400 watts. And then you got your microphone and a bunch of different wiring. So I'm going to go ahead and obviously instructions, which is pretty important. Probably the hardest thing will be trying to find, like I said, where to mount your speakers. But I'm going to look at these instructions real quick. And it looks like this has got an extension here. So if you had this close enough to this unit, which this is your controller, if you had them close enough, then you could just plug this directly in like that. You know, but you're talking the amp would have to be mounted pretty close. It does have a little double-sided stick tape where you can probably mount this to, like, I guess your dash or something. But it also comes with this little extension. So this is probably what everybody's going to end up using, because you mount this like underneath the seat or something. And then this looks like it's probably about 6-8 more feet. And it just goes in there basically just like this. And then like this. So we got a fuse and some screws, which I'm assuming these are probably the screws that they're providing to mount this unit down. I don't see anything in there for these, as far as you'd want to go down to your local hardware store. Like I said, don't go cheap. Those things are going to have to be bolted down very securely. So then we have your fused power, and this will be going in here like this. It should only go one way. And so, let's see here. So it's got an inline fuse, which is good. Will help protect if there was an issue. You'll be able to mount this wherever. I mean, if you want to directly mount this to your battery, whatever, you're going to need a pretty decent power source, because I'm not sure exactly how many amps that this thing draws. But anyways, so this I'll be hooking up to this 12-volt battery. And then it looks like these are the harness for the speakers. Now these are 200 watts a piece. Technically, I guess you could just run one if you just wanted to run one, but it comes with 2 speakers, and we'll try the difference. We'll try hooking up one and then both to see how loud. This I'm not exactly sure at the moment what this is for, but anyways, that was included. Not sure what this little part is, but so this is a unit, not too big. I would probably put it underneath my seat, somewhere where you get a little bit of airflow, because it is going to produce some heat, just like a car stereo amplifier. But I'm going to go ahead and hook these speakers up. I'm just going to twist them together. And then I am going to hook it up to the battery source over here, and then I will be right back and we can play around and see what it's like. Now, I'm doing it inside because, man, as loud as this could be, I think this does have a volume, you can turn it down. But because it is a police sirens, it does have PA system on it also. But we want to play with the police siren sounds. You don't want to do that outside. Neighbors get freaked out, you know. Don't want the cops coming around because somebody reports it. So anyways, let me get this stuff all kind of temporarily hooked up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got it all hooked up. Now, what it is there is 2 green wires and 2 blue wires. And it took me a minute to find out that 2 green wires both go to one speaker, 2 blue wires go to the other speaker. Don't ask me why they did that, but that's the way that they color-coded them. I turned this thing on and just about blew my eardrums out, and that was when I only had 1 speaker on. And so I literally had to search through my house and try to find some earplugs. I mean, I'm not joking. This thing is insanely damaging loud. I have no idea how loud it would be, and I was standing behind it. So one of the most important things that I figured out, because the instructions are very, very poor. Okay, so to turn it on, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, and you'll hear it kind of pop. Oh, okay, so it's on now. Okay, most important thing, how to turn this thing's volume down. Okay, so the A button held in will turn it up, and it's at the top volume right now, and I'm not going to push that, especially not stand in front of it. And the speakers, the mic, I should say, of this equipment would absolutely cut out. So to turn it down, you push and hold the B button, and you'll hear it start to go beep, 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 and it'll get, quieter. So I'm going to turn it all the way down. Okay, so that's the lowest it can go. Okay, on opposite, if you want to turn it up, you're outside, you're out in the country or something, somebody's not in front of it, you do not want to hurt your hearing. I mean, this thing it's painfully loud. My ears are still ringing. Even with earplugs in, I had to hold one hand over my one ear. To turn it back up, though, hold the A button. And you can stop at any time in between. But okay, when it stops, that's at its full. Same thing when going down. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it back down. And like I said, you can choose anywhere in between. But I'm going to go ahead and stop it there. Okay, so I figured that out. These are also the buttons if you have like lights, auxiliary lights, flashing lights or whatever. You can turn your lights on via the A and B button. That's just a quick push on, push off. Okay, so let's see. It does have a microphone, push to talk. see, that is still loud. I'm sure that the clarity of the microphone is probably not real good, but test, 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 test. Oof, man. Yeah. So, let's just, man, that's all the way down? Yeah, that's all the way down. So, man, all right. So it's got what it is. It's got, it says 37 different tones. I'm not sure where they're coming up with 37. Most of these buttons have two tones that I've figured out so far. 2 frequencies. So if we hit this, and then the Rio button, it changes the pitch. Now I didn't notice anything different. The bass is this right here. I did not see that makes a difference. Here's where it gets into the, okay, and then this is kind of almost like the backup beeper, you know, for safety. Hit the Rio button, you can change the tone. Usually you can just hit the button again and turn it off, or haven't quite figured out the whole scripting thing, but I'll get into some of the more painful, annoying sounds. And you have your wah-wah. It basically, you hold it and let off. And you can see it's changing the tone of it. And I'm not sure what this disc and MP3 thing is. It seems like I can hit that and it'll also stop it. Because when you hit this, for some reason, even though it says stop, it's almost like it's trying to run some sort of a program. So, all right, so that's, and then let's see the Yelp. And the longer that you let it run, it kind of goes into where it sounds like there's, you know, 2 different, what do you want to call it? You know, sounds being made. It sounds really cool, but like I said, this needs to be like tested, like out in the country where you're not gonna, you know, attract any tension. So it's got to be deep in the. But anyways, we'll continue. It's a high low, a little bit different sound. Okay, let's go to whale. Whew, man. This is at the very, very lowest too. And I get my headphones in and it's still loud. Let's go to whale 2. So there's some really cool combinations, and I still haven't, because the instructions, they don't really make any sense. So it's basically just something you're gonna have to play around with. It's really cool. I really have no use for it. I will put the link to this exact model down below. You could just run 1 speaker, but I think they sell a single speaker package. So if you just wanted to run 1 speaker, but if you want absolute painfully loud, probably hear you for a quarter mile at least, and I'm not joking, then you'd go with the 2, because they're supposedly 200 watts each. And So yeah, I might end up doing like a giveaway on this or something, because I just don't see, I picked it up, but I don't really see using it for anything. I'd get myself in trouble. And I have no idea what vehicle I would mount it on anyways. I know I couldn't mount it on my Jeep. There's just not enough room. I'd probably have to put it in like my pickup truck, like somewhere behind the grill. I don't know. But anyways, it's definitely cool. These things aren't that expensive. I'm not going to say the price just because the price changes, but you know, this one's really cool. It's got a lot more sounds than a lot of the different ones. The quality seems to be pretty doggone decent. Like I said, this, you could just, it's got double-sided stick tape. You could have it somewhere in your dash or something, or you stick that to it, and then you could, so then you could just pull this out. Like I said, the PA, I don't know. That's something that basically, I'm getting feedback, so I can't really test that. But and then to turn it off, it's a long, basically a 3-4 second hold. Same way to turn it on. Turns on faster than it turns off. Yeah, and that, like I said, that is long hold. Oh my God, that's so loud. And that is probably only a quarter of the way up. I'm gonna turn it back down. Yeah, like I said, when I first turned this on, I had no idea how to turn the volume down, and I hit this tone, and one, it absolutely scared the mess out of me, and two, it hurt my left ear. I mean, it hurt. So like I said, I'll put the link for this particular product down in the description below. It's on Amazon. I'm not affiliated with these guys at all. I'm not getting no commission. This is not sponsored or anything. I just thought that I would show you guys what this is, you know, what it's all about and stuff. So it looks pretty cool. I know that I personally would get myself in trouble. If you're in the Jeep community or the ORV community, you know, where it's off-road, you could play around and mess with stuff, you know. Just don't go out driving and start hitting the siren, because that is highly illegal unless you're like a volunteer firefighter or something like that, EMS. But for the people in the Jeep community and stuff like that, they'll use it for the PA system and mess with their friends, you know, because they're off-road and stuff. Any 12 volt, you know, will power it. This thing is just like a little mini car amplifier. So you do need a full 12 volt. I got it just hooked up, like I said, it's about the size of a lawnmower battery. But anyways, that was the BooYu 400 watt 37 tone PA/emergency siren system. I'll catch you in the next one.